Hello and welcome to this M&A Trends Spotlight. I'm Isabel Hessel-Tiltman and I'm joined by Javier Amantegui. He's an M&A partner in our Madrid office and also co-head of our Latin America group. We're going to be hearing a little bit about the M&A trends in both Spain and in Latin America currently. Javier, turning first of all to Spain, how's the M&A market faring over there at the moment?
I would say it is recovering, and we left behind the worst times, the times where we suffered this monetary uncertainty, and the country now is performing better thanks to the many structural reforms we are undertaking. The country the macroeconomic perception of the country is much better.
And which parts of the market are you seeing as being more active at the moment?
I would say that there are two main sources of potential transactions. One comes from the divestments being made by Spanish conglomerates, which need to reduce their debt levels. And these conglomerates mainly are putting into the market transactions on the infrastructure, construction, energy and financial sector. I would say that almost all Spanish multinationals are undergoing that process, including all the well-known ones like Acciona, ACS, FCC, Iberdrola, Repsol. So all the big players are putting assets into the market because of this need to reduce their indebtedness levels. Separately from that, we have other source of transactions, which is more, we'll say, opportunistic. One is the renewable energy sector, which is restructuring, and the companies and the promoters on that field are looking for new capital and new markets to grow. The other one is the consumer sector, where companies are having, because of the decrease on demand, they are having difficulties to service debt or to even repay it. And the third source is pure distress, debt and assets coming from the real estate sector. And the parties putting those assets on sale are mainly the real estate promoters and the banks.
Where's the investment coming from into these assets? From
financial investors, infrastructure funds, traditional private equity funds and distress and debt funds are looking at Spain on an intensive basis right now. But also we cannot forget strategic and industrial investors who are looking for good assets which are well managed at affordable prices and also may provide them with a gate to emerging markets like Latin America.
And turning to Latin America, that's a part of the world which has seen an increase in foreign direct investment. What trends are we seeing in Latin America at the moment in the market there?
The historical connection between Spain and Latin America will continue. And remember that Spain is the second largest foreign direct investor in the region. What we are seeing in Central and South America is a move by the Spanish companies who are disposing of mature assets. And with the cash they are obtaining from those disposals, they are making reinvestments in the region, but focusing on their new core businesses. So this will entail a flow of sale and acquisitions deals by these Spanish companies. And separately from Spain, the region is performing well. There were some threats about whether Latin America will continue growing despite of the reduction on foreign demand by the developed economies, but at the end of 2012 the GDP growth figures have been very good, and the predictions for 2013 are also optimistic with a recovery in Brazil, with good level of growth in Mexico and impressive figures in Colombia and Peru, and on top of that the interest of the investors in the region continues to be high. The figures on foreign direct investment in the region are the only ones who have grew in 2012. There has been an average decrease by around 15% in worldwide, while in Latin America the foreign direct investments have grew by around 7%. So very, very good perspectives. In terms of sectors for Latin America, I will say that infrastructure will be a hot topic. Infrastructure in countries like Brazil, Central America, Colombia or Peru, with the, Mexico also as well, with these massive infrastructure plans for improving their transport and social infrastructure systems. Energy, natural resources and mining will also continue to be an area of interest for foreign investors and for transactions. Financial sector needs some development and concentration. And finally, I will say that also retail and consumers will be an area of interest because of the more and more numerous and growing middle class in those countries.
Great, thank you very much, Javier.
Thanks to you.